So Megan and I, we were at the hospital for a checkup for Olivia back when we were still expecting. And there was a choir that had been brought to the hospital to perform in the foyer area. Well, the way that this works is the second floor where all of the the expectant mothers go to wait. There's a balcony area, so you can hear whatever's going on down in the foyer. So we get up as we're walking in. I'm like, oh, they're about to perform, and I was like, I want to hear this, and I thought, oh, I'll be able to hear it because of the second floor. And we get up there, and they start singing. Well, let me rephrase that. They began to do what most people would think is called singing, but it did not sound like singing. Bless their hearts. It sounded, this is going to be so wrong. I'm going to say it. It sounded like they got to make a wish to perform as a choir one time in life, having had no formal training or experience in singing. And bless their hearts, they're probably sweet young children, but they could not sing. And so I'm sitting up there with Megan, and Megan's like, don't. And I said, I have to get a closer look at this. And so I go over and I look, and I'm like, that bless their hearts, they're trying. They're not succeeding, but they're trying. And so I go back and sit down. Then a woman decides to try to do the same thing I did. Well, because the balcony is freestanding, like you can just walk out there, they have a little trip wire. If you trip that wire, a loud alarm goes off. And right as one of these untalented children began to sing a solo, she tripped over that wire, and a loud alarm just starts blaring. And I thought, that actually made it sound better. There was another time where...
Thoughtful, man.
I know, but they'll be okay. They'll be fine.
I'm not going to hold it together for that.
There was another time, or same choir. No, there was another time
the next day
when I found out who they were and told them individually they had no talent. No, there was another time where I went and was in Cookeville, and we were eating at Cracker Barrel with some people, and Adam said, I got to go to the restroom. I said, okay, well, let's go. So we go into the restroom, and it was one of those moments where I opened the door. I immediately smelled throw up. And I thought, somebody's had a rough day. They must have had a rough month because it was everywhere. And I told Adam, I said, no, come back out here, and we're going to get your mother to take you to the women's room, because I already see in my future Adam, who we all know loves to run everywhere he goes, slipping and slip sliding, and then it would be splish splash. I was taking a puke bath, and I didn't want that for me. So I determined, to take him back. And Megan said, I always take him. I said, you're going to take him this time. I'll tell you later, because I can't talk about it right now before we eat.
Mm-hmm.
But that Cracker Barrel in Cookeville, it was rough.
I'm sure they've cleaned it by now.
I'm not sure they have. I don't know. Maybe.
It's possible.
I mean,
Cracker Barrel, who's not a supporter,
a sponsor
of this word.
I doubt they'd support what we're saying right now.
Probably not.
But those are some things that have happened to me. So, format of the program is as always. Stop trying to read these.
Dude.
I see what you're doing, and it is not appreciated. This is Bradley Smith. This is my friend Wayne, also known as Captain Kick Rocks, because he sends nonsense packing like it owes him money. So we're gonna They're getting better.
I like that.
They are. They're
Good
getting.
thing you got that in before you took the drink.
That's right. I feel like we would have ruined another microphone if that had happened.
Adam would have got a Coke bath.
Okay, let me tell this one because we'll get a kick out of this. I was preaching in, I think, Wisconsin, and I was doing the sermon on the parable of the sower. So we talked about that last episode on, before the pulpit. And so I have an illustration that I tell in there about, weeds, that you have to weed the flower bed. And I made the statement that normally how I say it is every spring I would win a contest I did not enter. What I said this time was every spring I would win the weed contest. And as soon as I said it, Megan goes, and there's only 12 people there. And so I'm trying very hard to keep it together. And we get in the car and she goes, the weed contest? And I said, I didn't think about how that sounded until I said it. And it was way too late to take it back. But yeah. So Bradley, the format of Did That Really Happen? You're very familiar with it. Or I'm sorry, with which you are very familiar with. And four. Watch out. There's a golf ball somewhere in the air. Bradley has not been a guest on this program yet, have you?
No.
But Bradley is probably our number one fan. And so if you didn't know, Bradley's Make-A-Wish was to be on this podcast. So we've obliged. No.
We're going to let him sing now.
Yeah, Bradley, go ahead. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Okay, Bradley. So did you bring some stories to tell?
I did. And I'm honored to be able to be here.
No one's ever said that, I think, before. The same way, like, he means it too.
I am. Yes. I mean, I've listened to every episode. I helped you with the story log to make sure that you didn't retell. So genuinely, I am happy to be here. In regards to something happening while you're preaching, I had not been in local work all that long. It was cold outside, and I noticed a woman come in through a side door, but she has a dog with her. It's bringing the dog with her through the auditorium. Now, both of you guys have been in this particular auditorium that I'm referencing. It's very long, huge auditorium, 750 seats in this auditorium. And she goes all the way to the back.
Hickory Grove?
No, not quite. She sits all the way in the very back. She doesn't do anything. The dog is quiet until the invitation song. As we start the invitation song, it was Softly and Tenderly. So every time we sing Softly and Tenderly, I think of this. She gets out into the aisle and gets down on her knees and starts yelling, "Help me! Help me! Jesus, help me! Help me, Jesus!"
What did she say?
Help me!
Do that again.
Help me, Jesus!
Did he?
And nobody does anything. I keep waiting for somebody to walk back there and talk to
Jesus, not you.
Yeah, so she didn't ask for Bradley. Did your ears work that day?
Well, what you would think someone would address this, right?
Jesus, that's who she called upon.
I try to walk back there, and one of the elders waves me off. So I think, okay, maybe this is a common thing that happens.
This is a common. Imagine you go to your first local work, and they're like, by the way, there will be a lady, and if we sing Softly and Tenderly, just look out. Every time.
But they waved me off. They've never met her before prior to this. And this particular congregation, they had the Lord's Supper after the sermon. Well, as the man is walking by with the tray, then the dog starts barking. Yes, and starts trying to climb up his leg. and trying to like hug him or roughhouse or whatever. And this goes on with the unleavened bread and the fruit of the vine, and it happens again with the collection plate. And I just think, okay, is this just when somebody walks by or whatever? Well, one of the elders goes and talks to her after the service, and she said, "Yeah, I'm really just looking for some money," which I'm sure we all have stories along that regard. But
did Jesus not yield a harvest tenfold for you?
He didn't write a
said,
check.
"Well, we don't
Venmo
we don't just give cash out, but we can get you some food from our food pantry." Well, pretty common thing. She says, "Okay, great." Well, someone goes and unlocks the door, and how we typically did it was the deacon that was in charge of the food pantry would go and fill a box with just some of the items and that. Well, she grabs the box out of his hand and walks into the pantry, cleans us out of chocolate pudding, gets nothing else, just chocolate pudding.
It's all for the dog.
It would die.
It's all for the dog.
You can't give a dog
Yes,
chocolate.
sure you
Poor Maddie.
Turns out there were many more twists and turns with this lady.
With her contorting her body for Jesus to help her.
No,
Is that what you mean?
she never brought the dog again. But there was
She did give it the chocolate pudding.
that's maybe that.
I saw it coming.
I didn't think about that. That really could be what
was
happened.
the dog's name?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
She tried to say it was a service dog, but it didn't have any documentation or anything like that. But so yeah, every time we sing softly and tenderly, I keep waiting for someone to get down in the aisle.
Help me.
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jesus!
So one time I was in a hotel. I'd ordered pizza, and the pizza came. It wasn't the best. So you know how that is. You're trying to finish what you can finish, but there comes a point with food that isn't good. You just got to get rid of it. You got to cut bait. So hotel rooms are not known for their large trash cans. And so what I normally do is I will go outside, open up the can that's in the front of the building, and I'll put the box in there, and that covers it. On this occasion, I'm walking out to do that, and the lady goes, "Sir, I'll take that." And I said, "I was just going to throw it away." And she goes, No, I'll throw it away for you. And I was telling her as I was getting closer, I said, "Hey, there's still food in here." And she said, "Sir, I'm not going to eat it." And that's
Great. Now I think you're going to.
I said, "I wasn't offering. I said, I just wanted you to know that it wasn't empty. And you leave it out here all night, it'll smell." And she was like, but she was adamant. She's like, "Sir, I'm not gonna eat any of it." And I said, "I just don't want you to spill it either. Like there was an open thing of marinara sauce in there or whatever. I didn't want you to just think that it was, and you sling it around, all of a sudden marinara's everywhere. It looks like a crime scene." And she was like offended that I offered her half-eaten pizza. And I was like, I'm not to sound rude, but I will. I don't care if you eat this or never eat again. Like, I want her to be fed. I guess that's too far, but
For sure.
I don't care if she eats that pizza or not. Like, it's not going to bother. I'm not laying in bed that night going, "I don't know if she ate it or not. It's keeping me up tonight, and I need to
I
find
wouldn't have
out."
bought it if I'd have known she was going to.
Could you imagine me calling back down? "Did you eat any of it? Tell me."
How's that pizza?
Did you like the pepperoni and anchovy combination?
I really wasn't impressed with it. I thought it could have been better.
I don't know her food sensitivities. What if she gets sick?
What if she has Crohn's disease?
If only.
If only. Wow, that's harsh.
That came out wrong.
Speaking of food, Bradley. Sorry, Adam. Speaking of food, do you remember the 24 crystals with no mustard?
I do remember this.
So it was at PTP this year, right? In August.
I think so.
Bradley and I, as you know, working the booth, we don't leave early. Typically it's late night. Even when you leave at PTP, you end up bumping into people that you know. And so you're talking, we usually say we leave around 9 o'clock. but we do not get to the car until like 9:45. Well, at that point, in order to get food, your options become severely limited. You know, most of the sit down places are closed or closing. And so we're driving and I said, you know what just sounds good? And he said, what? And I said, Krystals. And that's one of those places that, much like Taco Bell can sound good, but it can also just sound like the worst idea ever.
Oh, yeah.
Krystal is the same way. Like, by the way, I found out it's just called Krystal, not Crystals, like I've always called it. Did you know that? It's Krystal, no S.
Depends on how many burgers you order. That's Krystals.
Exactly,
Right.
which is why I've always ordered, because I've never gone and gotten one.
Right.
It's as big as my pinky. I can't live off of that.
Right.
And so you got to have at least 24. I eat 24 pinkies worth of Krystals every time that we order it. But I ordered a sack full of Krystals, and we're trying to order what we want. And I said, I don't want pickle on them.
Yeah. You can't have pickle.
Because I can't have it. And so I said, no pickle. And he goes, okay, a 24 count of Krystals with cheese, no mustard. And I'm like, no.
Well, I wanted no mustard on my
That's
half.
right.
I just prefer it without mustard.
And so I told him, I said, we want half with no mustard, half with mustard, no pickle. I guess we ruined that guy's night because he kept going 24 Krystals, 12 with mustard, 12 with mustard and pickle. And we're like, no. And then he would go, okay, 24 Krystals, all 24 of them with pickles, no mustard. And we're like, no. And then he kept, like, every iteration of it he could have possibly gotten wrong, he got wrong. And I told Bradley, I said, there's no way this is going to be right. Like, we have to check, which Krystals is not the easiest thing to check. If you go to a fast food place like Burger King and you order a burger and you want to check it, you check one burger.
Right.
You order a 24 pack of Krystals and you're sitting in the line for 2 or 3 minutes checking each of them. And the people behind you are honking their horn because they want the gut bombs too. And so you've got to get out of line quickly. So it's frustrating. And so the guy just couldn't grasp what we were ordering, period. But I think they were done correctly.
Well, I ended up acquiescing. I said, I can eat the mustard. I don't have to have the pickle. Just get all 24 the same
Surely
way.
that confused him more, man.
Yeah. He was like, you want another 24 pack of Krystals? And we're like, no, who would eat
All with
48 of
mustard?
these?
Well, I've got a perfect story for who would eat 48 Krystals. When I was in school, there was a Krystal not too far. And on Fridays, they had a deal at lunchtime. All you can eat Krystals and fries, $15.99. One of my classmates ate 50
In the lunch break?
in the lunch break.
Okay, for those of you watching, the lunch break at the Memphis School of Preaching is 50 minutes long, technically. By the time you get there, you have 50 minutes to eat and get back. That means he ate on average 1 Krystal per minute of the lunch break. That's not including fries. How many fries did he eat? 4,000?
I think it was 4 orders. There was a limit to how many.
The
burgers
average
you could get.
Krystals fry box has 14 fry. No, can you imagine if I knew that?
Of all people to know it, though.
It would probably be me. So he ate 50. Was he kicked out?
So
He wasn't kicked out at that time, but they stopped the promotion. Now, we did get kicked out of IHOP because they had all you can eat pancakes and different alignment of people. I was the only, common one in the group, but we got kicked out of IHOP. We went at like 2:00 in the morning, all you can eat pancakes. I lost count of how many we had, but they kicked us out and stopped
they
the
didn't,
promotion.
clearly. They've been counting.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
this is the 400th
This
pancake
is,
we've made this
They're
hour.
going like
They-
ding, ding, ding.
They
ding,
were
ding.
not happy. But after a long evening of studying Genesis, what do you need more than 4,000 pancakes?
Waffle House.
That had to be our go-to. And unfortunately, they don't have an all-you-can-eat unless the grill was shut down. And one time we went, the grill was shut down. They gave us free waffles for as long as we'd sit there and watch them cook them.
That sounds criminal. As long as you
it
watch
almost
me
certainly
cook
Yeah.
these waffles,
You know,
you
the
can have
problem
waffles.
with Krystals at lunch at Memphis is the class that you're going to miss in
It's
the
a
next
gut
hour.
bomb. It's a gut bomb. Yeah.
I mean, you are so far behind, missing a whole hour.
They're
of your
grenade
next
shaped,
class.
first of all. And
It's
you're
like
eating 30.
Every
to
one you
50 of
unwrap,
them.
it's like pulling a pin.
Yeah. So I didn't know this. I think it was with you, maybe too, where we ordered. No, it was with Megan. we ordered the 24 pack of crystals, and we said, and she goes, okay, it's $12.99. And we said, okay, that's not bad. I mean, that's like $6 per 12. That's great. Cool. Or $6.50, I guess, per 12. That's not bad. Not at all for two people. And then I said, she said, do you want anything on them? And I said, well, just how they come, cheese and ketchup or not cheese and mustard and, half of them pickle. And the lady said, well, they don't come with cheese. You have to order that. I said, okay, well, we want cheese. And she goes, okay, your total comes to $30.99. And we're like, we just paid $18 for cheese. It was an obscene amount, like of a jump. And we were sitting there going, that's like almost $1 per slice that we're doing. And if you know how big a Crystal burger is, it's tiny.
Yeah.
So what are we paying almost $1 per slice for? That's insane.
They get 4 slices out of a slice of cheese.
Yeah. 1 slice per 4 burgers. Like, come on. And I'm paying $1 per burger.
And who in their right mind says, no, I don't want cheese on my Crystal?
Exactly.
You're not going to digest any of it anyway.
Exactly.
Go ahead and eat the cheese.
Exactly. What other stories you got, Bradley? We got 24 minutes left, and we could technically go for days.
Technically, we could.
We'll have you back.
I was changing the sign outside of the church building.
I was just going to say of crystals.
Yeah.
They made you take the promotion down.
They arguably should have. But it was one of those where it had the individual letters that you do. And it had this big, I called it a tetanus arm. And it would come and it would try to swing and hit you. But one day I'm out there changing the sign. And there was an issue of people parking cars on the lot that were probably stolen. Like we couldn't say definitively that they weren't stolen. But this man pulls up in a car, says, my name is Officer So-and-so. I'm with the Memphis Police Department. We're investigating these stolen vehicles. There's this one car in particular that I'm looking at. Can you tell me about how long it's been here? And do you know if it belongs to somebody? I said, well, really, it's been here all week, and this is on a Thursday. And said, I don't think it belongs to anybody. If it does, it's the people across the street, but I don't know for sure. Says, oh, well, okay, thank you very much. Friday morning, I get into the office, and I sit down, and I just gotten my computer opened, and there's a knock on the door. 2 uniformed members of the Memphis Police Department said, does a man matching this description sound familiar to you? They gave me the description of the guy. I said, yeah. Said, well, he's been going around stealing cars. And
thought you were going to say he's been eating promotional items at Crystals.
Said, well, we think he's probably we think he's probably stolen a car from your lot. So I accidentally aided and abetted a car theft. The guy claiming to be an officer really wasn't. He was just looking for the information and found out at a later time that I had accidentally helped him steal a car.
And guess what? The police department is here right now.
Oh, no.
We lead Bradley off in handcuffs.
Oh.
Do you remember when at Foundations I was teaching on marriage, like finding the right spouse, basically? And the picture that I did, I was like, doesn't holding hands convey that they're in love? And I was trying to, you know how it is, what you're teaching a bunch of teenagers, you're trying to be relatable to them. It's not the same as a sermon setting. And so Bradley's in there, and I said, outside of the fact that they only have 3 fingers, and I kid you not, this is what happened next. A guy in the back goes, and he raised his hand. He only has 3 fingers. And I was like, and what was it that I said? Because it was bad. My first response was not.
I don't remember exactly what you said because it's the first time I've genuinely seen you at a loss for words.
Well, he was at a loss for fingers, so I guess that's fair.
Everyone has lost.
There it is.
Wayne, Michael is never ashamed of anything that he says. It takes a lot to, make him embarrassed.
Right.
He was genuinely embarrassed.
Because I thought, oh no, I'm a director at this camp, and I just made fun of a kid with 7 fingers.
You asked him how it happened.
Well, so I asked him how it happened. I said, is it both sides?
You told me this. I remember this now.
Turns out
him-
it had happened like the month before.
Yeah, it had just happened.
Like 4th of July. No, it would have been.
Like he probably just got his hand unwrapped, dude.
unwrapped.
Like he probably was just at.
Yeah, they have to keep it. Jason Pierre-Paul, he had to wear the.
But yeah, that was one of the worst days ever because I felt so bad. But he was such a good sport about it.
He was.
He was like, "I'll do the other hand if you want." No, he didn't say that.
He did not offer that.
He but he was hilarious about it. Like he was a good sport because I even said like, "How did it happen?" And he told me it was with like a bandsaw or something.
Was it? I thought it was like an explosive of some kind.
I didn't think it was an explosive. I thought he said that his grandfather held his hand down and
No,
cut his
no,
fingers
I-
off. No,
I
I think
don't
what he had
think
said was he was helping his grandfather with something. And it slipped and cut his fingers off.
It could have been.
And I said, and they couldn't save them because like a lot of times if you'll ice them, they'll be able to save them.
He was
And
just digging, wasn't he?
He
Just-
said no. I wish he'd been like, yeah, they're just invisible now. Like,
I keep
they're
them
on
in a
here.
Ziploc bag in my pocket.
I have them right here.
I've always got them with me. Guess what? Those fingers are here right now. Austin brings them in on a platter. But he was a good sport, about it. And I felt terrible.
So speaking of hands,
Much like his fingers, I guess, terrible. I felt that way.
Speaking of hands for just a minute, okay? I'm doing a sermon and I'm talking about marriage and so I got one of those graphics with two hands holding, that kind of thing, and was using that, and there was a heart behind it, or whatever it was. So anyway, well, I should have looked just a little bit closer because somewhere mid-sermon, Cindy realized and told me after the fact, because I missed it all week long, evidently putting the PowerPoint together, that the hands looked awful manly. I'll just say that. I have since preached the same sermon.
With the same photo.
I changed the photo.
Oh, okay. To ladies' hands?
He redid the photo. It's both of you.
Yeah.
It's your hands
it's our
now.
hands.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well-
I missed that one. She just said it looks really because it can't be conclusive here, but
There's a lot of hair on those hands.
she's got
they
man
really
hands.
did. His man hands. That was the thing, It was totally Seinfeld there.
So
Love it.
awkward moments.
Are in abundance with us.
Yes, I called you as soon as I did this. A few months ago, there was an odd car that was parked on the parking lot, and it had like Virginia or West Virginia license plate, and it was parked in kind of a weird corner of the parking lot, a little too close to the building. Well, a few years ago, we had a break in, and they had gotten some things, so we're a little bit on edge about some of these things, but I thought, yeah, you can't assume that something bad is happening. So I'll leave it be. A few hours later, I come back. The car's still there, except now there's a truck backed up to the other side of the building. I think, oh no, they have brought another vehicle and they're just totally cleaning us out. So I go to the house and, there are certain rights that are guaranteed to us by the United States Constitution
Mhm.
in the amendment, specifically the second one.
Mhm.
And I got what is guaranteed to me by that Second Amendment, and I took it up to the building. Not that I was going to do anything, but if I have to defend myself, that's a situation that I might be in. Well, I'm walking through, and I don't hear anything. It's too quiet. I mean, it's ramping up just like just like a movie, the terrorist pops around the corner and, it's the climactic moment. Well, I've got my friend Smith and Wesson, by my side, and out of the corner of my eye, I see someone pop around a corner. And I think, this is it. I'm done. I'm dead. I hear water running everywhere. And I look.
That was how you knew you were dead?
No,
Heaven's got a lot of pools.
It's just
Or was
adding.
it his water running?
Yeah, there was a possibility of that. But as I'm going and turning, I see that it's one of the men. And I mean, he's just one of the most, he's got the best servant heart and mindset. I mean, just a real salt of the earth type of person. He had gone up there to clean the baptistry and hadn't told anyone that he was going to do it, and was, working on a couple of things in the bathroom and things like that. So I'm looking down the side. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't actually, aim my gun at him. But we had a nice little laugh, and we both disarmed the situation. Now he'll send me a text whenever he's going to do it.
Sure.
Not out of concern for himself, because he doesn't want me to worry. That's the kind of
That's what
person.
he's told you, but if we're being
He really
totally
doesn't want
on
to be
the
shot,
level,
okay?
Well,
he doesn't want to get stabbed or
that-
shot.
that is very much a possibility.
Didn't I teach you
but-
anything? When someone's in there that shouldn't be, you know what to say. You need to leave.
I should have used that. However, if they had ill intentions, that probably would not go super well.
Fair. So PTP, we set up the booth. I'm with Chris, and we have these Godoc lights, the Godocs that we call them. Are these Godocs up here, Adam? Okay, so that they're similar to what these are that we're using here, but they're a different brand. And so I'm looking at it, and you know me, I'm very fascinated with technology. I love how things work, especially
Bright
like that.
lights.
And it's going to be a bright light, so I'm curious. And so the way these lights work is they're just like these that we have above us. There's these covers, soft boxes that go over them, and so the soft boxes weren't on them yet. And Chris is talking to me, and I'm asking him questions about the light. And I look at the light, and I'm like, man, that little middle part of the light there is so interesting. And I go and I touch the center part of the light. And right as I touch the center part of the light, Chris goes, and of course, the center part of the light can never be touched by a fingerprint. And I'm like, and so I said, I put my hand down real quick, and I said, and what if they have?
Hypothetically.
And he goes, you touched the lights, didn't you? And I said, I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. And he goes, every time. He's just like, what is wrong with you? And he came over and he said, good news. I haven't removed the protective film yet. Bad news. Don't do this again or we will ruin the lights. And we had just got them. Like
Mhm.
we were opening them for the first time.
Was
at
that
PTP.
what I had to go to Knoxville to get?
No, that was a time too. We won't talk about that yet. We'll wait and talk about that one other day. But yeah, Chris still makes fun of me for that, where he's like, and these can never be touched. And I'm literally like, oh, what?
His finger is on it.
He's like, these can never be touched. I'm like, touch.
You can see the individual specks of his fingerprint.
Well, that's what I was afraid of,
imprinting.
was like that somehow there'd be like lines on someone's face from my fingerprint. And so, oh yeah, Adam, our esteemed director, said oil from hand gets on light and light goes boom. So that
It's
would have been
It's not
bad.
good. Not good at all.
No, it wouldn't have been good for me to be the one that destroyed PTP.
Yeah.
That would have brought people to the booth.
That's true. We do say come to the sandbox,
We do.
What else do you have, Bradley?
So I was preaching in Memphis at this time, and a couple of the students from the school had come over to visit for our Sunday evening services, and we were going to go out and eat afterward. So we're standing out in the parking lot. Already probably not the best idea, considering the neighborhood that we were in. But this guy comes sprinting down the road.
The guy from Get Out?
I'm not familiar.
Someone's watching this right now. I'm like, what a good reference. Like, that was top tier.
But he is visibly distressed as he's running down the road. And he sees us and turns and locks directly on me.
So it is the guy from Get Out.
If you say so.
I do.
Now, a bit of context with this. A couple years prior, there had been a visitor during a Wednesday evening Bible class who was very responsive and answering questions and things like that. And they were watching the news a couple days later. They found out that he had left Bible class on Wednesday night and went home and murdered his roommate. Like in
Wow.
an especially vicious way. So this guy's coming running down the street to me. And he says, "Hey, man."
I killed my roommate.
Whatever you've heard, it wasn't me.
Says, "Hey, man, I need some money." Said, "Well, I'm sorry. It's locked. And because of the way that the alarm system is set, I can't get in there to get you any money." Well, what about some food? Said, again, because of the alarm system. But if you come back at 9:00 tomorrow morning, we can get you some food.
My roommate told me that once.
Well, I didn't notice it, but the two guys from the school had started creeping back to their vehicle as this guy is talking to
So you're
me.
just by yourself.
I'm by myself. And what this guy says next, "I want you to bow your head and close your eyes and pray for me."
Oh, I thought you were talking to us. I was like, I'm ready.
No,
He asked you to pray
he said,
for him?
not just pray for
But
me.
bow your head.
Bow your head and
close
close
your
your
eyes.
eyes and pray for me.
Yeah, you were getting stabbed.
And I think this is how it ends for me. Those two guys are in the car. They're going to watch me get stabbed and then go eat at Outback or something.
Yeah, that's what they would do. Well,
'Cause that's
can't
how
save him.
That's how those students
We
are,
might as
man.
well honor him
Well,
with an onion.
We did end up
Cactus
going to
blossom.
Outback that night. But a blooming onion, nothing like nothing to get you over a stabbing like a blooming onion.
in honor of Bradley.
But I bowed my head. I didn't close my eyes. Hope that's okay. My eyes were trained.
Then the prayer didn't count.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, your prayer posture is off, buddy.
what are
Sorry.
you gonna do? But he had his hands in his pockets, and I was just waiting to see that flash of a knife or a gun or something. But fortunately, it didn't, and he sprinted off the exact same way that he had sprinted up. Never came for any food or any money. So I'm almost positive I would have been the victim of something that night.
So
Wow.
I'm going to tell the Subway story that just happened to us recently. I told it to Brittany and Drew the other night at dinner.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell it.
All right, go ahead.
Shout out Brittany and Drew. What up? So we're traveling, Megan and I, with the kids. And those of you that may watch or listen to this that travel with small children, it is brutal. You know it with Piper, but it's a much greater level of tired for y'all because you're grandparents too. So you're not in your 30s trying to corral a 2.5 to 3-year-old. You're in your late 80s
Easy.
trying to do that. Cindy's only 24, but
Yeah.
you're basically pushing nursing home limit.
Getting math on that
and I still don't know why Cindy married. No. So you're driving around with your children, and we have 3 kids. We had to be in 2 cars. No, we were just in 1 car this time. We were lucky enough to do that. We're driving, and we got to get fuel, and we still have an hour and a half to get to the hotel. And it's getting to be that time of night where the children are like this close. It's like once you feed them, you have a window to get them to bed without it being a meltdown. So I told Megan, I said, hey, this gas station has a Subway. Why don't we just eat here tonight? Because, it's one less stop we have to make. And we know that we enjoy Subway and, so.
It's kind of a punt.
Yeah. It's like, there you go. We can do this. It's not going to be like the greatest meal we've ever had, but we can do this. So I go in, and the guy that's working the counter at Subway was by himself, and he was not having a good night. He was mad to be there. Like, he did not, I walked in, and he was on the phone cursing somebody out. And I thought, this is the guy that's about to make my sandwich. I should tread very lightly and carefully here. So I get up there and I said, hey, I want a foot long meatball marinara. Can I get extra cheese? Now I want to ask you, on a foot long, because I know you guys eat Subway too, on a foot long sandwich at Subway, how many slices of cheese would regularly come with that, would you say?
I think 4.
Okay. So if I asked for extra, how many slices would you think it would be?
6.
Okay.
8.
That's fair.
Maybe.
Maybe double?
Yeah.
17 slices of cheese. I counted.
Wow.
I'm standing there, and I didn't catch it until right as he was finishing. and he's taking it to go put it into the toaster. And I'm going, and he didn't hear me. And so he's toasting the sandwich. I'm just kind of sitting there like, what do I do? But I know I can't eat it.
You count your blessings because that is going to be the best sandwich you've ever eaten.
Not if you have
That.
Crohn's disease.
You can eat cheese.
Yeah, but not that much.
Don't eat the whole sandwich.
What, more cheese means
Oh, so
fiber?
now I'm going to be wasteful? We already know I'm not going to eat the whole sandwich, Wayne. It's the principle of buying a foot long and wanting 6 slices of cheese and getting 11 more slices than that.
Well, you paid $17 for it.
Wait,
Yes.
because it gets worse.
Okay.
It does.
So he pulls the sandwich out, and you know how normally when you get the right amount of cheese and it melts on
Yeah.
a sandwich, it looks good.
Mhm.
This looked like the cheese had a mass growing on it. It looked like it needed to go get a scan done.
It had popped at this
And
point, okay?
It had not popped. No,
No.
it just looked like a giant blob of cheese. And I thought, if I eat this sandwich, I might literally not make it because I have an hour and a half drive home too, to where we're going for the night. So I was like, I can't trust that I can eat this. And so I said, sir, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to move the mic a little bit, Adam, if you got to raise me for this. But I said, sir, I'm sorry, but I can't eat this. And he takes the sandwich, rolls his eyes, and goes over to the trash can and goes and throws it in there. And then he goes, how many slices do you want? I said 6. Because I'm scared because he was cursing out a guy earlier. So then he makes the rest of the food. Then he goes, by the way, our drink machine doesn't work, but you can go in and buy from Love's and, you can get the drink there. So I was like, okay. So I went and did that. Megan said, just get us bottles of water. It's fine. So I do all of that. He takes a break as soon as he's done, getting us our order made. And the way that this, Subway works, just like any gas station restaurant, there's seating right up against the glass window that's right to outside. I kid you not. He went to take a vape break, stood right outside the window where we were seated, and stared at me the entire time he was vaping. And I'm going, I think this man might want me to pray for him with my head bowed and my eyes closed. And so I'm getting a little bit kind of concerned about it. And I told Megan, I said, this guy just keeps kind of staring at me. Then he disappeared. And I'm like, oh boy. Well, I forgot about him. So I'm taking the kids and getting them in the car with Megan. And we've reached the point of we're mad. We just want to sleep. We're not happy. We're not having it anymore. And I think I'm a dad. My responsibility is to tell these kids to knock it off. No, my responsibility is to try to make them happy. And we're almost there. You can sleep as soon as we get on the road. And so I had to throw some trash away. I go to throw the trash away. And as I'm coming back, I was like, I'll do a little dance for the kids just to make them laugh. So I'm dancing all silly. And there's a truck over here, two vehicles. And I start pointing over to the truck and I'm going, come on. Like I'm really dancing and the kids are laughing and they're having a good time. And I'm pointing at the truck and I'm doing the sprinkler and the kids think it's hilarious. And then I go over to the truck and I start ducking under the window and popping back up and saying peekaboo and doing that again. And then I point over to the truck again. I'm like, come on. And then I look at the kids and I look back and that guy's exited that truck. The Subway worker. I have been pointing to him, not knowing it.
He was in the truck?
And beckoning him to come join me to dance for my children.
I thought you meant like
he
a
was
semi-truck.
He was in his own truck, his pickup truck. And I was like, oh no. And so Megan said, I guarantee you're on TikTok right now somewhere. He probably filmed that. Some moron that didn't want cheese on his sandwich is dancing.
Let me tell you
That's
what
the
happened
no
to
cheese
me.
dance.
It's the no cheese dance.
He's got his own version of Did That Really Happen?
Yeah, he's for the rest of his life telling people.
And then this guy complained he had too much cheese.
All I did was
Right.
put 42 slices of cheese on there.
Totally bankrupted this franchise.
That's why he was upset. He was like, oh no, I'm not going to meet the quotas now that I need to meet.
Well, I'm not getting paid.
Right?
So,
Guess this cheese is coming out of mine.
a lot of fun things happen. I will say this as we kind of close this out because it's only a few seconds and this one's not a long one. I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever seen a chicken eating Pringles?
I can't say that I have.
You ever seen chicken eating Pringles?
Nope.
I did in Florida. Only in Florida, there was a chicken outside of a gas station. It looked like the chicken, was it Hohei or whatever from Moana? That chicken was literally there eating Pringles with a homeless guy. And he was asking for food. And I thought, dude, you got a chicken right there. Just,
Yeah.
We'll be back next week with more. Did that really happen? And through their eye, or before the pulpit. I knew I'd do it at some point.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Bradley.
Thank you.
Wayne Kick Rocks. Wait, don't cut it yet. It's my friend Wayne, also known as the Gravel Gavel, because his verdict is always Kick Rocks.